Cool.
Hello
See,
everyone, good afternoon.
I have a question for all of you. Actually, इंडिविजुअल लेवल पे बात करते हैं, ठीक है? मान के चलते हैं कि पल्लवी ने जो प्रेजेंटेशन दिया, या सकीना ने जो प्रेजेंटेशन दिया, उससे आपने पिकअप क्या किया? व्हाट डिड यू पिक अप? What did you pick up? What can you remember?
So, takeaway wise, um, in Pallavi talked about giving and law of karma. So they were interlinked also, like as we give, we receive. So all of that she shared, that I remember. And for us, I feel it is more because we were listening about it earlier also, and we have been reading the book. So I think for us, it's more of repetitive to even pick up. For maybe new people, it would be more apt. So wow, we
Okay.
have Anjali also with us. So we
So
all
that's your version. Okay, Rajesh, what is your version?
and I'll just repeat about Sakina also. For Sakina, for me, the way she shared about that law of least effort about trees, a tree, that example stayed with me. That a tree do not need. We can provide some factors, but we had to let it go. Like we have to allow it to grow on itself and all of that. Like that part.
Okay. All right. So Rajesh, what did you remember? सबसे छोटा प्रेजेंटेशन सकीना का था, तो सकीना का प्रेजेंटेशन में आपको क्या याद है वो बताइए.
So your question is what was my topic or what was my takeaway? Could you please rephrase it? What is the question?
Yeah, so what is your takeaway? What is, like, if you had not read this book and Sakina has presented whatever she presented, her presentation was the smallest one. So what was your takeaway from there? मतलब आपको कुछ याद है उन्होंने बोला क्या?
Okay, in my topic, what my topic is love dharma. After reading
Your
that,
topic, only her topic. Imagine her topic, what Sakina has shared. That was the smallest presentation. So that's why
what I think Pinaki sir is trying to say, your communication should be so effective that people, the audience should grasp it and have a wonderful takeaway with them. So he is trying to judge कि हम what actually impacted us from each one of us presentation, starting with Sakina, so that we see कि this what impacted her. उसके बाद वो कहेंगे कि why did you वो तुमको क्यों why you just remember that part only, because that was a very effective and communicated very well, right?
Well, we'll come to that later. अभी इतना तो याद करके बोले कि हमें मिला क्या? What did you get?
एक्चुअली पता है पिनाकी सर व्हाट हमारे साथ क्या प्रॉब्लम हुई. एक्चुअली राजेश जी तो जो है वो ही कैन अंडरस्टैंड ऑल इंग्लिश. द प्रॉब्लम वाज कि जो जैसे मेरे से पहले मानसी जी ने बोला तो हम लोग अपने उसमें ट्रबल में थे, तो मानसी जी का स्टार्टिंग में सुना, फिर अपने में हम लोग रिवाइज करने में लगे रहे. तो राजेश जी वाज द लास्ट वन, तो आई गेस ही वाज इन द इन अ ट्रैकिंग मोड की कीपिंग ट्राई. आपने अगर नोटिस किया उनके पीछे येलो एंड रेड कलर आता था. He was keeping time track ki if yellow was to be caution, now your time is over, and red was now you have already overflown with your time. So he was keeping track on all this rather than.
It's okay. Come to the point. That what was your takeaway? Had you been attending it for the first time, what was your takeaway? What did you get? What did you remember about her presentation?
are you talking about the overall presentation or that Sakina's presentation?
Sakina's presentation लेके चलते हैं. Let's consider Sakina's presentation. That was the shortest one, smallest one.
Okay, in that presentation, he talks about the least effort. I think when we are starting some many activities, we have no need to worry about. We have to put a lot of concerns and a lot of troubles or complications. When we are making by doing the small efforts itself, we can make some changes. The small efforts.
If I ask you to say only 1 or 2 sentences about her presentation, what would that be? So
One or
only
two
two sentences, for example.
Okay, I could not recall that exact 2 sentences what she said
Yeah.
right now.
So see, you have prepared for it and you couldn't recall. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. And why I waited not for this entire gap, because you might have recalled 80% of whatever she said if I would have shared at that point when she was sharing. Probably. When there is a gap of almost 12 to 14 hours, you forget 80% of it. Hardly 20% you could recall. Hardly 20%. That too, if you know the subject. If you don't know the subject, you can hardly recall 5 to 8%, maybe 10%, not beyond that. Subject to the condition, you are taking interest in it. Okay. So now comes the next thing. That what was your intention behind your presentation yesterday? You should, each one of you should tell your own version. Don't say that even mine was also the same. For example, Rajesh says something and then Pallavi say, it is for me also it was the same thing. So don't do that. Don't say that. You say, express in your own words. What was your intention in yesterday's session? Like the role that you played.
Okay. My yesterday's intention to see, when we started this conversation, we are in a separate group and we are connecting each
Say
other.
mine. What was your intention? Don't talk about me.
Okay. My major intention to share my thoughts and improve my communication of the presentation through this way, because they all are new audience and a new set of people. And by sharing my thoughts, even it's my testing for myself, how I am presenting, and whatever I understood, whether I'm able to present it to people in that convincing manner. That is the major one intent. And
Wonderful.
apart from that, what I learned from the topic, I also want to share with people, and that might inspire others to read that book again or that topic again. That is the major intent
Let's stay with the
to share.
intention. Let's stay with the intention now. It's not about what you learned. Let's stay with the intention.
Yeah, intent. Yeah, that's what intent. I think my intent is, one thing is my personal things is my presentation, and other thing is just want to convey what I learned to others.
Perfect. And some people, they said, wow, Rajesh, this is wow, that is wow about your presentation. Did you remember who are those people? Who are those people who actually said, wow, it's like somebody said, I could connect it with a Toastmaster talk. Somebody said this, somebody said that, whatever that. So whoever talks anything about you, about your presentation, do you remember who are those people?
Yeah, I think there's one person. She's Shivani.
Hmm.
Shivani, I think she's from the CA. I think the Readers Club.
Hmm.
And yeah, you also said. And there's one more person. She's Soumya. And then mm, Rajeshwari something.
Okay.
Then Vasudev, you also said. Yeah, these are the people
Okay.
I can recall. Apart
Right.
from that, my team members.
Fantastic. So next time onwards, you just take a note of that, what they are actually saying. You can take a screenshot. And your objective is
Actually,
to connect with
I've
them.
taken that.
Now your
Actually,
job is to connect with them. Connect with them and ask them what they specifically liked about your presentation.
okay.
Why I'm saying so, two things will happen here. First thing is that you are paying attention to that person. उसके नजर में तुम्हारा इज्जत बढ़ जाएगा. You understand Hindi ना, more or less?
I don't understand Hindi. I don't much.
थोड़ा सीख ले यार. Learn a little bit, please.
Okay, let it.
So what will first thing that will happen is that your respect in their eyes will go up. They will think that whatever I just passed up comment, but the person for whom I passed that comment, he has actually taken it seriously. He had paid attention to it, and he has also connected with me. That's how you create a community. That's how you create a community following for yourself. That's what I exactly do. Yeah. So the second thing that you'll get is that exactly what that person focused on. What did he learn? What did she learn from your presentation? If somebody is only saying wow, wow, and they are not learning anything, they are not remembering anything, then your whole purpose is gone waste. It's not your presentation skill, but also the purpose of transferring the information. Yeah. All right. Good. So, and coming to Pallavi. So, Pallavi, what was your intention behind yesterday's presentation?
Thank you, Pinaki ji, once again.
I believe
मेरा
you are appreciating my feedback, right?
obviously we're looking forward for it eagerly. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, I sometimes I may be blunt, but my whole intention is to empower you, encourage you, motivate you, and inspire you. Okay. Yes,
Sir,
Pallavi.
I appreciate your dedication and towards the whole mass. Basically, आप सभी के लिए तो सोचते हैं that time the book reading में आप you touch my heart when you helped my daughter to read out the book, and it will it will stay with me forever, I guess. So that's why I admire you as a teacher more, as a person in person. मतलब uh, and why I wanted the book presentation, basically, I previously told you also that I had a limited belief that I have a stage fear. Basically, I have so much to say, so much to share, but every time my communication skill and my stage fear come forward, and matlab, when in Lucknow also I have participated in many clubs, and I actively participate in all the activities. But I am always at the back end. I cannot come forefront because I somehow have that limited belief ki but after connecting with you, after joining your session, I said ki I have to break that cell. So the Kalpana takes the session in Friday with Kalpana
Hmm,
and
hmm,
promote
hmm.
the new speakers. So I wanted to start with her, but somehow Mansi dropped in, and when she gave the idea, then I said this is the basically more friendly, user friendly platform, so I can perform and start my new journey as a speaker. Thank you, Mansi. That I will remember that day forever. And this was my basically why I wanted to share the presentation, and why I was looking forward the feedback from you and Vasudev sir, and or more whom journey I know कि उन्होंने कैसे अपना change किया, and now they are one of the best rising
Okay.
stars.
All right. Thank you. So, some people also did the same thing with you. They said, "Wow, Pallavi." उसमें एक बंदा मैं भी था, तो मैं तो ऑलरेडी आपको टाइम दे ही रहा हूँ. But so whenever you give a presentation next time, you also take a note of it. That who are those people who are sharing the comments, who are sharing some reactions? उनको observe करना, so that you can connect with at least some of them within 24 hours. Actually connect करना है. Okay, good. So we are talking about intention. By the way, did you fulfill on your intention?
यस आई फेल्ट वेरी वेल. मतलब हम लोगों ने रात में मे बी 10:30 11 o'clock तक वी चैट ऑन द व्हाट्सएप ऑल फोर और फाइव ऑफ अस, एंड मतलब दैट वाज अ बबलिंग मोमेंट फॉर अस. मतलब एक्चुअली मैंने कुछ भी बोला और मेरे वजह से पूरा प्रेजेंटेशन आई वाज लीस्ट इंटरेस्टेड अबाउट द रिजल्ट. मतलब मेरे साथ था, वाओ मैंने कर दिखाया. मतलब आई वाज मतलब आई डिडंट फेल्ट लाइक कि मतलब मैं भाग जाऊं बीच में से, या आई एम नॉट एबल टू डू. ऑल्दो इट वाज रीडिंग ओनली, बट मैंने यहाँ पे मॉक में भी आई ट्राई टू ओपन द कैमरा एंड स्पीक अप. मतलब स्पीकिंग बिहाइंड द कैमरा इज ऑलमोस्ट इजी. मतलब मैंने कई बार मॉडरेट किया है सेशन, लेकिन व्हेन आई यू आर स्पीकर एंड समटाइम्स यू आर फोकस लाइट ना, इन दैट केस मतलब जब हमारे समय में जब स्कूलिंग होती थी, इन दैट टाइम मतलब मैं आपसे थोड़ा सा 1-2 साल बड़ी रही होंगी, तो इन दैट टाइम इतना ज़्यादा स्टेज प्रेजेंटेशन या स्टेज शो नहीं होता था. ऑल्दो आई एम एनसीसी स्टूडेंट, आई पार्टिसिपेटेड इन 26 जनवरी परेड ऑल्सो, बट एज अ टीम वर्क आई ऑलवेज डू. अगर आप बोलोगे एक पूरा सेशन अकेले ले लो, तो मे बी टुडे ऑल्सो आई फील आई हैव दैट हिच. And I
Okay.
can matlab, I don't feel shy about it, because now I know after 2 3 years, and this is the beginning of my journey. Maybe after 2 3 years I will sound something different.
2-3 years. Arey yaar, who is going to wait for 2-3 years to listen to you? You have to do it in 2-3 days. Come on, itna time nahi hai.
uh,
Fantastic. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, Sakina, what was your intention?
Uh, my intention is to read book only because I want to read that book, and
Hmm.
so I decided to join the team क्योंकि सब मतलब रीड कर रहे थे तो सब प्रेजेंटेशन देने वाले थे तो उन सब का सुन के और फिर मेरा वाला पार्ट प्रिपेयर करके मैं बुक रीड कर सकूं तो वही मेरे लिए था और फिर ये टीम वर्क आई अप्रिशिएट ऑल द टीम मेंबर्स
Hmm.
मतलब मुझे पहली बार ऐसा लगा कि हम सब साथ में कुछ कर रहे हैं और सब अपना अपना प्रेजेंटेशन बना रहे थे और सब एक दूसरे को हेल्प कर रहे थे तो ये भी मेरे लिए बहुत मतलब सीखने वाली बात थी
Hmm.
I especially thanks to Rajesh and Mansi because both are doing so much hard work for this presentation. And
Hmm.
I learned a lot from all of the members क्योंकि सब सब मतलब कुछ न कुछ ऐसा रोज लेके आते थे कि हाँ ये लगता था कि अच्छा इसके बारे में भी सोचना पड़ेगा अच्छा इसके बारे में भी सोचना पड़ेगा मतलब ये पहली बार था तो बहुत बहुत मजा आया आई
Fantastic.
लर्न अ लॉट एंड सबकी खूबियों को देखना तो मैंने आपसे सीखा ही है मतलब सब सबका क्या प्लस पॉइंट है वो आप अच्छी तरह से देख लेते हैं और फिर मैं जानती हूँ आप कैसे काम करते हैं तो थैंक यू
Rajesh, you are getting the message of your teammates, what they're saying. All right.
Yeah, I can get it.
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah. Anjali, if you can talk, you can join us. I would strongly recommend you. Otherwise, it's okay to be in the listener mode. Mansi, आपका intention क्या था?
So my intention was to share the knowledge of the book with more and more people. So that is one of the reasons I was insistent, like I was curious to present it on FELD rather than just B Club because B Club has a very silent audience and FELD may I felt we will be able to reach out to more people and also a way of gratitude also like because most of us are here from a common group as FELD. So I thought ki it will be a token of gratitude that we all are together doing it. So let's present it for our teammates and people, and just going deeper into the knowledge of the law, like whatever we have read. So when we study it better, so we go a little deeper when we have to explain it to others. Like जो बोलते हैं ना teacher, when a teacher has to explain something, he has to simplify the concept and understand the concept even better. And I also believe very strongly, Pinaki, that we chose the role the very first day when we met. We decided which part will be taken by whom. Like everyone was given a choice, and some picked it. Some just one or two of us just selected like I want this law, I want that law. Then the others we were like whatever we get, we are okay, but I am a believer of universal alignment a lot. So I feel I totally believe that everyone has got the perfect law that was most either resonating with their own innate nature or either that they need to work upon more. So I feel for personally I feel the one I received, the law of potentiality, is very much resonating with what I believe I do, I want to imbibe more into my life. So learning that in detail, going through the chapter again and again for presenting purpose, it was very helpful. Apart from that, uh, this was not anticipated, but sorry, it was a great learning. The process that we went through for the creation of this presentation, I think that was a bigger learning than the book and the learnings itself. So the way we handled everything, the way we interacted with each other, uh, the way we handle situations, everybody's time, managing synchronicity with in spite of the differences. It was a bigger learning, and we actually so whenever we do it again or some other time if we plan to do it, I'm sure like it will be a more refined, or we will invest lesser time. We will apply the law of least effort there, because we had to put in a lot of effort in this, which I feel doesn't make sense for one book. Like we need to figure that out how we can do it with, because it's not practically possible for everyone to invest that much amount of time, and people will drop off, people will not be interested to do this much of work for something. So lots and lots of learnings. And from the way I used to handle situations within the group, like background mein, like behind the scenes, and the way Rajesh took charge sometimes, and the way he just solved the problem very immediately, that was a bigger learning for me. So how you can really tackle the same situation, and how you should be tackling the situation in case of certain differences or whatever, like, and that is bound to happen when there are many people working together. So all in all, it was more than what I had expected. Like the process, as I said, learning the idea and intention was very simple, just to spread the message. And I had personally read this book myself in a hard copy before last year, and I liked it. That is the reason I thought of just taking it up as a small and quick read and a powerful read. And then now spreading it out to more people was the simple intention, and as a way of gratitude for FELD members and FELD community also. And now it had in fact given me back a lot. Like I have received a lot learning in that entire process. So that's my thing.
Okay, good, good, good. Thank you. So you
Yeah.
think that your intentions were fulfilled also?
Yeah, I think many people must have at least got curious about knowing the book now. I don't know if we were very well able to communicate each law or the messages very strongly, because we are all very amateur at this level right now. So maybe we may not have spread the message very beautifully to everyone, but people, at least I feel we have raised curiosity about reading the book among others, and maybe at least few more people would be wanting to read the book now. So I feel it is fulfilled to certain extent. There is a lot of scope of improvement, and I'm very much open to it. So yeah.
Okay, that's okay. So your intention was fulfilled according to you.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah, Anjali, can you speak? Yeah.
मैं नहीं बात कर पाऊंगी।
अरे बात करो ना, वीडियो की जरूरत नहीं है, अगर बात कर सकते तो बात करो।
क्यों आप बाहर देखिए क्या चाहते हैं? आप ड्राइविंग ना थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी।
कोई बात नहीं, ठीक है। So
क्या करते हैं?
all right, okay, चलो ठीक है। So see now let me ask another question. That question is this is the most risky question I'm asking.
सर क्वेश्चन आंसर करने से पहले अपना फीडबैक तो दे दीजिए।
दूंगा फीडबैक ही दूंगा। इनफैक्ट अभी जो सवाल पूछ रहा हूँ वो मेरे लिए बहुत डिफिकल्ट वाला सवाल है, मेरे लिए है, बिकॉज आई डोंट नो व्हाट आंसर आई एम गोइंग टू गेट आउट ऑफ इट। इट्स लाइक it's all about my presentation. That what you could recall about that presentation.
So personally, Pinaki, myself, I don't really remember much. I wish I had the recording, because I was totally in the frame of mind of preparing and presenting, and I was the first speaker from our group. So it was a pressure for me. So I was totally in that full frame of getting ready for it and all of that. And we had this time bracket also. So you remember na, like last time when we had presented trigger, we went longer. So and that then we received the feedback that it should have been smaller, and we agree. So that is why this time we were very particular with time ki boring na ho jaye. It should not be boring for everyone, and we should end up giving more and more value in lesser time, so people's attention is maintained, that kind of a thing. So, but I feel there is again balance to be figured out. अभी इस बार ऐसे हो गया कि time पे ही ज़्यादा focus हो गया. But rather than the delivery, somewhere it missed. I feel like we could have
Well,
done better if time was
I
not.
asked about my presentation, not your presentation.
No, no, no. So I'm saying that I was personally not very in the frame of mind, but I just realized a few pointers from your presentation as I was attending. The few ones were like the power of creativity and all that you explained, and I just realized that this is very much aligned with what we are also trying to express today. So that is what my main focus was on our presentation. So that was one thing. Yeah,
Cool,
from me.
fantastic. Yeah, what about Rajesh? We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Unmute yourself.
Okay. Yesterday, when your topic, you explained about super conscious mind. Uh, so far I have heard much things about subconscious mind. Even there is a books. I think super conscious mind, and you gave an example, super conscious mind. When you are sharing something, what you said. You gave an example yesterday. I think even I was talking to my wife also that differentiating between the super conscious mind and your subconscious mind. When you are, yeah, when you're sharing the emotions,
Okay.
that should be coming from that. The super conscious mind cannot be that the subconscious mind. And the last is you said you talk about the visualize, verbalize, and emotionalize, relax, and release. So these things, I think I'm able to tell all these things because I have taken a screenshot.
So you don't
I
need to
just
satisfy me. You don't need to satisfy me or praise me. I
no,
just
no.
just help you to connect
No,
with
no.
your own presentation. That's it.
Yeah. I think the last when you are closing the summary with these points, whenever whatever the things we have to verbalize the thing, we have to tell. Then we have to visualize the thing. You said with that, you explained with that example. Visualize the thing, whatever you wanted to have. You said one thing. We have to write it down. What is this so and so? This April 24th, I should by December 24th, I should complete 10 books, and I should have a 10 lakhs money in my account and so and so date. Mention with the date and write it down. Then only we can. We have to visualize and feel it, and only then we will be able to go towards to that whatever you have written or whatever you want to achieve. That is what my
Wow.
takeaway from this one. Even
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
I was in the same situation what Mansi said. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah,
Can I
Pallavi.
can I just add
हाँ मानसी
something
बोलो
if
बोलो बोलो.
after Rajesh is done?
हाँ.
Are you done? So I just remembered. So where I connected with you, like when you were sharing about this infinite potential of creativity within ourselves, that we are also able to create whatever we want and whatever we desire. So I resonated that because that is very much what the law of potentiality also talks about, and that was immediately after your presentation that I was about to present. So that is where I connected that infinite creativity part within ourselves and tapping into that energy.
All right. Thank you, Pallavi. What you could remember about my presentation?
So I remember कि आपने अंजलि जी को कमेंट दिया था कि your presentation is just what is aligned to my presentation, and you just spoke the same thing in a very wonderful manner that I can connect with the topic to adding on to what Rajesh ji said.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. It's okay.
One
Yeah.
thing I want to ask you clarification yesterday. You said you have to write the question and write 20 answers, but I did not get that part. I think for that 20 different questions, 20 answer or one question, 20
One
answers.
question, 20 answers.
Okay, can you give me one example how I can write for that one question to by example? I just want to I want
कि सर
I,
आपने उसमें you have said this ना कि same thing अगर आप दो लोगों को दे everything will have present the same thing in a different manner. I can really connect with that thing because the same thing I the day before during the lunchtime I had the same activity at my home. I gave a blank paper with 2 lines. I asked my all the family members to draw something with that two line and tell why they done the same activity. So my son drew two circles, making the moon and the sun, and my daughter made a multiplication sign. Yeah, I want to multiply my abundance like this. So मैंने कहा कि whatever you get, it's based upon your potentiality कि आप क्या देना चाहते हो, क्या करना चाहते हो. Sorry राजेश जी to interrupt in between, पर मैं I was so eager to complete my part. So sorry, you can continue, please.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, Rajesh, you are saying something.
So my question is, see, in our team, I think in our group also we had intention about completing 24 books by 2024. How can I complete 24 books by December 2024? Now,
Good.
how
It's
can I
okay.
write 20? How
Okay.
can I write 20 questions on this?
Well, I don't want to talk about my presentation now, but what is important is that you remember this. That is what you remember. See, whatever I share, you remember these points. That is my intention right now, to help you connect with whatever you shared and how much people could remember. Yes, Sakina, yeah, you can leave. So the whole point is that, see, when I was preparing my presentation, I did something very interesting. The kind of words that I was using in my presentation, they all some way connected to the presentation that you all provided, that you all gave. Because I picked up that book. When I was preparing my own presentation, I also reviewed that book, 7 Secrets of Spiritual Success. And I tried to connect my presentation with whatever you presented. I couldn't do exactly, but at least I used some words to put it in a context such that I was also under the impression that you people are preparing for the same thing. So I don't know who all those people who will be preparing for it. Because the only name was in front of all of us was Mansi and T. So I was not aware of who are the remaining part of the team. Yet I thought it in my mind that let me put it in a way such that I could connect with all those laws of spiritual success as well. So that probably that worked in the sense that though you were focusing on your own presentation, you could still connect with that. यहाँ पिनाकी आपने ये बोला था, हाँ आपने ये बोला था, हाँ आपने ये बोला था. That's what you could connect. So coming back to this thing is that, see, what I will do with all of you is that the presentation which I gave yesterday, I will share that PowerPoint file with you, the original PowerPoint file. Okay, I'll just share it with you. And why I will do that, my whole intention is that you follow that, you see that what is there in that PowerPoint presentation. What I did basically, I picked up one book. I picked up this book. This is the book I picked up. Yeah. And I picked up chapter 6, which all of us were reading throughout this book throughout this week. And I picked up some portion of that chapter 6. And based on some of my own ideas, I connected and put it in a structured form, in a form of a presentation. So what I want you, all of you, to focus on. This is a one way of doing it. Yeah. You may be having your own ideas, own thoughts. Next time when you present anything about any book, don't talk about the whole chapter or don't talk about the whole book. Take a small slice and present it with your own thoughts, own ideas, own experiences, own takeaways, own aha moments. Because if you read this chapter 6 itself, you will find there is so much is there. But the points that you could remember those points because I only picked up some points. I picked up some keywords like I was focusing on the word superconscious. I was focusing on the superconscious mind. I was focusing on writing. I was focusing on the words question. I was focusing on the words answer. I was focusing on the word how can I? I was focusing on what can I? What can I do? Yeah, I was focusing on that infinite intelligence. That's why I could remember that infinite words. I picked up some certain words. And while I was doing my presentation, I emphasized on those words also. Like I couldn't record the session yesterday because I didn't even notice that I didn't start the recording. So I'll record it anyway. So this is my suggestion, that if you really want to keep people engaged and at the same time you want them to remember whatever you are doing, you are sharing, you are actually creating a higher value of the equity that you are. You are an equity. If you consider yourself as a stock, the value of the stock goes up when people pay more attention to it. So if you consider yourself as an equity, as a stock, then you need to figure out how I can increase my brand value. And brand value increases only when people pay attention to, they remember. So now I picked up one statement which Anjali was talking about, attention and intention. So whole point is that whatever your intention is, you have to make sure that people are paying attention to that. If these two works, if these two actually synchronize, if they two are in resonance, then whatever your intention to deliver, other people will be paying attention to that, and it will fulfill on your activities. So when I asked that question, that do you think that your intention was fulfilled, the answer should be whether people actually paid attention to that or not. Otherwise, it will be, you are thinking that my intention is fulfilled, but it is just fulfilled halfway. It is not fulfilled as far as fulfilling is concerned. Fulfill means it actually did what it was supposed to do. Okay? So this is my way of looking at it. So whenever I do any deliberation, when I do any presentation, even what I'm doing right now, if you notice carefully, what I did right now, what I'm doing right now, the first thing which I said is yesterday, मैं अपना brand value बढ़ा रहा हूँ. कैसे बढ़ा रहा हूँ? Brand value कैसे बढ़ाया जाता है? When you connect with people personally. So how I'm increasing my brand value? In the session, I said that I will connect with you separately. Now, I didn't put any comment over there, because if I had to put any comment over there, I would have been able to write only 1 or 2 sentences. I may not be able to do justice to my own experiences about the whole thing. Then I took a risk. The risk which I took is that I would like to connect with all of you. That was the risk I took, because I really do not know whether you will be paying your time or attention to whatever I want, what is my intentions. So I made my intention very clear that I want to connect with you. And I will share my thoughts there. Only this much I said. I only said 2-3 sentences. That's it. And you guys thought, whatever you guys thought, I don't know what you thought, but my intention was very clear, and I could see that you paid attention to it. So now if I ask you this question, what is your intention to attend this session right now? Probably you will say, yes, Pinaki, आपसे सुनना था, और अगर आप समय दे रहे तो हमें भी लगता है कि आपको हमें समय देना चाहिए. If you are taking out time from your own busy schedule, if you are taking out time specifically for you, for me, then I must pay attention to it. I must give value to your time that you are offering us. ऐसा कुछ ना कुछ intention आप सभी का हो रहा है, isn't it? If I ask you that what made you join this session today? But देखो how much my intention was clear. I was very clear how this session is going to go, how we are going to connect. And then Mansi connected with me that I have a free Zoom thing, I cannot record it. I said, it's okay, I will share my Zoom link. I will make sure the session is recorded. So I was practically thoroughly ready that if any of those will factors which is not allowing me to achieve this goal, this attainability has 2 parts, will and can. So can from my side is 10 on 10. The will factor is whether the program will actually happen, whether this meeting will actually happen. One of the will factors could be that since you are using this Google Meet, you may not be using the Zoom thing. So there's a possibility that you might come up with okay, how can we record the session, or I don't have a Zoom link, or even if I have it, probably I'm getting this challenge or that challenge. I was ready for it. The moment Mansi put the message in the personally to me, I replied immediately because I was ready with my setup. You know? So these are the things which I made sure that I am able to take the session as long as my limitations are concerned, how I can cover up those limitations and come up with a solution which can work immediately. And this is exactly what was there in the presentation which I gave yesterday. Now, if you connect with that, you will notice that I did exactly the same thing to ensure that this meeting happens right today. I gave you 2 slots at 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock. I said that these are the 2 slots I have. Okay. Then Mansi said that most of us are available at 2 o'clock. So I applied my behavioral flexibility. Okay, because I had scheduled something at 2 o'clock. So I preponed it. I said that I have some important activity to at 2 o'clock. Can we prepone it? So I preponed it with the person with whom I had this 2 o'clock session. I applied behavioral flexibility to ensure that I am there, because 4 or 5 people are paying attention. They will be hearing the session to listen to. So I have to make sure that I am available for them. Okay. Do you think that all these things are connected? That whatever I am saying making sense? So
Yes.
है ना? And see, Mansi तो मेरे साथ शुरू से है जब NLP and Beyond बना था, because she actually offered that Zoom meeting link which we used for almost 3-4 months. She had a Zoom Pro account with her, and that is the one we used for 3-4 months. Then I purchased my Zoom Pro account to continue the game. So all these things are connected when you are very clear that what is your intention and whether people are paying attention, are willing to pay attention to it or not. If they are not paying attention, then your intention will be half fulfilled. Okay, so what are the steps you can take? So these are steps I take. So whatever I'm telling you, I actually do that, and you can say that yes, Pinaki, you are right. आप ऐसे ही करते हो. The first thing is I make sure the session is recorded. Okay, so that is my step number 1. Yesterday, which was missed out because I was too excited with my own presentation, and so my focus was a little bit diverted. Yeah, because of that small distraction, I forgot to record the session. So by the time I finished and Mansi started, I checked that whether the recording was done or not. I discovered there is no recording was done. So immediately I started the recording so that at least your sessions continue getting recorded. Okay. So I record the session number 1 so that it is available. I can make it available to my listeners.
So much, sir. Thank you so much for your kind gesture.
And then second thing which I do is I create a presentation. Normally I create a presentation and I share that presentation when people ask for it. Otherwise I don't share the presentation, but I keep it ready with me. What is the advantage of that? I can use the same thing to take another session someday with some time with some other audience. Yeah, so this is the second thing which I do. Third thing which I always do is whoever praises me, hey, Pinaki, this was very good, Pinaki, this was very good. I look for an opportunity to connect with that person, preferably within 24 hours. Even if it is for 2 minutes, I will do that for 2 minutes, just to say thank you separate. Yeah. So these are the things I do. Did you notice that I have done that with you also? The same thing. I personally connected.
सर मुझसे कब किया?
है ना? आपके साथ शायद मैंने व्हाट्सएप में किया, कोई वीडियो शेयर करना था तो मैंने शायद आपको कोई वीडियो शेयर किया, कोई बुक शेयर करना था तो मैंने शायद आपको कोई बुक शेयर किया, या मे बी वन ऑफ माय ओन वीडियोस जो मैंने शायद आपके साथ शेयर की. Then we keep on connecting. So I'm not saying that I'm doing it with everybody, but yes, definitely with 1 or 2. The whole point is I make sure that I'm connected with you. All of you can say, mention, all of you are already experienced it. I have someday, I have definitely connected with you, some way connected with you. Something probably I have shared with you personally on your WhatsApp. Maybe I have called you. ideally the intention is not only to make the presentation, but also to stay connected with you. So if you ask me what is my intention for this session today, two. One intention is to connect with you. Second intention is how much you could remember about my own presentation, how much you could connect with that presentation with your own presentation. So if you ask me that whether my intention was fulfilled, I would say yes, to some extent, in the sense that at least you take out your time, you could pay attention to my presentation yesterday. You could remember also some of the points, and then you could also share it even after almost 16 hours. You could remember you are sharing it with me. So that means I could definitely manage to create some impact in that presentation. फिर अपना ब्रांड पिनाकी अपनी जगह पे है, वो तो है ही, वो तो अभी भी आई एम जस्ट अप्लाइंग दैट ब्रांड पिनाकी राइट नाउ, आई एम जस्ट एनहांसिंग द वैल्यू ऑफ द ब्रांड पिनाकी, उसमें कोई डाउट नहीं. And if I am doing it and if you are noticing it, then you also have the capability to do that, period. You know, you also have the capability to do that. Achha. You also notice what I did. I first listened to all of individual, and while I was listening to you, I was noticing what you are talking about, what you are focusing on, what your intention is while you are talking. Every behavior has a positive intention. So every time when you're saying something, there's a positive intention behind it. So I was putting in my effort to identify is aapka, what is your intention right now when you're saying this, when you're talking to me. Now, when I got some clarity about it, then I started talking. And I know when I am talking, I could connect with each one of you. The rapport is already built. I was connecting. Right now, even also I am connecting with each one of you individually, though I'm talking to four of you. So this is what I have to share from my side. Now you tell me that whatever I have shared with you, how much you are resonating with that, or how much you think that yes, Pinaki, ये point आपने बिल्कुल सही बोला.
I resonated with it 100%. In fact, for everyone here, I just want to share. Can I? Like, I want to share something. Like, I got another feedback by one of the member who was present yesterday, Manish Dahiya. I think Dahiya. I don't remember the exact surname, but Manish ji. Because I have not really connected with him before, so he called me personally and he gave us a feedback for our presentation. So he told me, I told him that I will convey it to the group. So what he said was, he was like, what if you can? It was more like a it was nice, he said, but he lost the connection in between, he said, because he felt that we were more focused on the time, and we were more as per his words, he mentioned that he felt it was more of a theory, and he said that if we could have expressed it in a way of a story, then that would have been more appealing. Like he said that agar like if we had like a teacher, if we could have been able to simplify it further for students, and then present it in the form of a story, that would have been even more better to stay connected. And he said because of this, I lost the connection of the entire presentation somewhere in between. So that is one thing that he mentioned. And he had also one suggestion for all of us, that he said that if we can just share notes after the presentation, like any written notes or whatever format, like since we have worked on it and we have taken out some special effort in it, if we can just share that in the group after the presentation or something, that will be of more value. So these two, three things that he shared personally, and he specially took out time, called me to inform about this, and I was grateful, and I told him that I will convey this to the group and we'll see to it, like if we plan to present sometime again, then we'll make sure that we take this into consideration. So these were the feedback. So one more question I want to ask you, Pinaki, like so do you mean that you mentioned, right, like you need not present the whole chapter, So do you think that we should take just some experts from the some main parts or something from the chapter and only present that much instead of the whole summarization, and just keep the other for others to read themselves, something like that you're trying to say, just to create the curiosity instead of
The whole
giving an
point,
overview?
yeah, my point is that you not only connect with the person but also make sure that connection stays. अभी क्या होता है कि जब आप ज्यादा बोल देते हो ना तो लोग सुनते ही नहीं. आपने
हाँ.
बोला कि आपके बाद 4 लोग और बोल रहे हैं, वो कितना याद रखेगा, कितना ध्यान से सुनेगा, है ना? So your job is to ensure that आप उसका attention पकड़ के रख दो. See, if you remember how I created my presence in FELD, शुरू में I used to say I'll just need 5 minutes to say something. You remember मैं ग्रुप में मैसेज डालता था कि अगर कोई मुझे 5 मिनट दे देता, I'll just talk only for 5 minutes about something. So my whole intention was to ensure that within that 5 minutes I should say something so that I can keep my attention. Rather, my intention is very clear that I want to stay connected with you and I want to ensure that everybody pays attention to Pinaki. बस इतना ही मेरा इंटेंशन उस टाइम. I was not intended to give any other value. Value ले लिया तो अलग बात है. And I was very clear that I should be finishing my whole thing within 5 minutes. I used to do that, if you remember, initially. Brand building कर रहा हूँ. करते करते क्या, because I was not reading from any book, I was not sharing from any book, है ना? And then I used to mock, I used to say that yes, I'm reading one page from this book, Rays of Hope, written by Pinaki. You remember? I used to say that. People would ask, "Yeah, तुम कौन सा किताब पढ़ रहे हो?" I used to say it's Rays of Hope. And who wrote that book? I said it was written by Pinaki. Then somebody said, "Yeah, I checked on Amazon, I didn't find that book." ठीक तरह से ठीक से ढूंढो, मिल जाएगा, मिल जाएगा. So that's how I.
Pinaki, can you, like, you finish what you say, but just a small, sorry, I interrupted you. I did not realize it. Just one thing before we leave today. हम सबको एक एक फीडबैक दे देना, like just give us like individual feedback of improvement or whatever you felt, because you have really paid attention and you were there from start to end, following, like listening to us so properly, so it would be very valuable. Apart, like this is all more than what we had expected, but still.
Yeah, so I will do that.
Thank you, sir. Even I have one question. कि yesterday मेरा मतलब जैसे हम लोग कोई ग्रुप प्रेजेंटेशन करते हैं तो initially we all were planning Mansi prepared a beautiful slide and we all were trying to put our PPT in it. Then what happened कि Mansi and Rajesh ji wanted to go with a mind map. Then to synchronize it, we get to put khichdi before the public. It's better to do nothing. Although Rajesh ji has made very beautiful slide of mind map, and even Mansi had done lot of hard work in it. So, when we are making a group presentation, then it to synchronize the thing were not presented as we planned earlier. जो Mansi हमेशा कह रही है कि there is a difference of opinion in the group, and he tried to correlate the difference in opinions. But this was only 2 of them were good enough with the mind map, and rest 3 of us were not good enough. Although हम तीनों ने we all had prepared the presentation. Secondly, my view was to share the mind map and aha moments in मतलब real life stories. बहुत ही short and crisp में कि जैसे we adjust into 30 minutes. But then we went कि उससे हम जब book summary present कर रहे हैं, then if we give our own understanding of वो, then it might lose the essence of sharing the book summary. When we are doing group activity, तो हम लोगों को लगा राजेश जी was opinion कि हम लोग को जिसको जो बोलना है वो बोले, but to synchronize we all gave a book summary. मतलब जो भी last में आया, that is the final result you got. But what would have been the better way to present if you are doing a group activity rather than an individual one? Beside what Mansi ji कहा कि हम लोगों को सबको एक one pointers were one liners for us feedback, and just add this to it. Thank you so much.
Okay, good. See, it was your maiden attempt, so naturally it's a there are a lot of learning opportunities there, or ideally ऐसा ही possibility है. The entire possibility is that there will be some proof of some challenges, some things need to be managed, something needs to be dropped, something needs to be highlighted, and while highlighting something, probably you just lost interest, you just lost connection, you maybe lost even focus. All these things are possible. All I have gone through all these things. So it's good that you made an attempt to get started. Getting started is the most important activity, which you have all done with a group, which is perfectly all right. The best thing is that nobody was prepared. So naturally you are prepared. So whatever you did, it was all a good new things for everyone. What's important is that, as I was highlighting in my talk a while ago, that two things you should focus on. One is your intention and the other one is the attention of others. Whether attention of others is equivalent to the intention that you are bringing in while you are doing your presentation. ये दोनों चीज आपका जरूर होना चाहिए, and it should be in a very precise format. So that's why I'm saying that I will share this PPT with you. You want the original PPT file or you want the PDF file? Just let me know. I'll do that.
Original PPT file, sir.
Yeah, so I'll send you the
मैं
original PPT.
just to repeat my question, sir, मैं ये जानना चाह रही थी कि whether the mixture of presentation would have been a better option rather than with no presentation. Means Mansi and Rajesh ji were presenting the mind map and we rest you were presenting the presentation. Whether that would have been
Pallavi,
added
Pallavi,
advantage here.
as long as your intention is aligned with the attention of your audience, it is a successful presentation. चाहे वहां पे आप कोई स्लाइड दिखाओ, चाहे वहां पे आप कोई स्लाइड ना दिखाओ, it really doesn't matter. What matters is that if your intention is what people are paying attention to, your purpose is fulfilled. So like if I talk about you, Pallavi, अगर मैं आपका presentation की बात करूं, throughout the presentation you are looking like this. You're reading, right? Throughout the presentation, आप देखना अपना वीडियो देखना, that your eyes were down, you are just reading from somewhere. It's okay. Now imagine that if you have prepared 4 slides, for example, उसमें you just had say 1 sentence or 2 sentences or maybe 3-4 sentences per slide, and you had a proper headline for that slide, and you just shared that slide and you are reading that slide. That's what I did.
Understood.
When I was presenting my slide, how do you know where I was looking? Your eyes were on the slides. So even when I'm reading the slide, those slides are actually working as mind map for everyone. So even if you don't have a mind map, you can still just put something on a piece of paper, white paper. If you notice my presentation, there is nothing else. It was just plain black, plain white paper. On top of it, some statements are written. And what I did, I was just using a simple animation that I click my mouse button and one line will pop up. That's it. So that way I engaged my audience towards a presentation. So they were not looking at what I was doing or what I was wearing. So this is my suggestion, that what you can actually do. Honestly, like you can actually take half an hour of FELD every Friday. It's possible. Each one of you, if you have a team of 6 people and if you have a presentation of 5 minutes each, you can take half an hour of FELD on your own. Nobody can come and take it away from you.
Great.
And what you can do, and what you can do, each of you can pick up one chapter, for example, and take that chapter.
We have
and
completed Ikagi book also. We are planning to present that too. All 5 first again.
You can do that. The way you present it, you make sure that it is there somewhere displayed.
I want to ask something in this. Like, so right now we are reading. We have read Ikigai. We are reading Tuesdays with Maurice and Man's Search for Meaning. So these are the 3 books. And there is one more small copy I have received of Jay Shetty's Find Your Purpose. So it was just an idea which I had shared ki instead of taking one book presentation, if we can just present like finding purpose and meaning, and then we talk from the key takeaways from each book and maybe the difference between them.
Yeah, that's what I'm
So do
saying.
you think that will be a better idea instead of
Yeah,
presenting a
yeah,
book individually?
you can do that. Whatever you do, the individual presentation should not be more than 5 minutes, ideally, when you're promoting a book, when you're sharing from a book. Even if it is more than 5 minutes, what is important is that you have some slides ready for it. One slide, 2 slides, 3 slides, whatever. Because now when you are sharing that slide, people will remember it.
Yeah. So the actually in our case also this was the first time. So since Pallavi shared the behind the scenes what we were struggling with, it was also like not everybody was prepared with the style slide or the pointers 2-3 days before, like since we were announcing. So Sakina did not have any pointers to present. So me and Rajesh had done it on mind maps. Pallavi and Anjali had prepared pointers for the PPT. Pallavi has put it. Anjali's was yet to be put. So all this coming together in the last 2 hours was a big challenge. So that
Absolutely.
is the reason we decided ki instead of going with like it should look as a team also, right? So if one is presenting a mind map, one is presenting a PPT and anything, like it could have created chaos. So that is the reason we eventually thought of dropping it. And next time, I feel it could be a better planned thing where we either decide one option how to present mind map or a PPT and get ready before. And I think it's a learning for each one of us. So we will definitely, like whenever we plan to do something like this again, it will be a better effort and in a better way, I feel like personally. So yeah.
Okay, so I've shared the PDF, sorry, the PPT file with you, Mansi. It's in your
Can you
DB.
also share the PDF version, Pinaki? Because I don't have a PPT in my, like, I prefer from mobile. So
Okay.
I would prefer a PDF ideally.
Okay, so why I shared the PPT is because you can use the same PPT to create your own presentations.
Okay, yeah, that's great. Yeah.
So with like if you already have a framework with you, so you can take advantage of the framework.
Yeah. Please give us your feedback, Pinaki, like and suggestion, like as Pallavi has asked and I had
तो
asked.
अभी तो फीडबैक ही दे रहा हूँ इतनी देर से और क्या दे रहा हूँ.
नहीं, इंडिविजुअल वाला हर किसी को एक जस्ट
अच्छा चलो
वन
इंडिविजुअल वाला
वन.
देता हूँ. So इंडिविजुअल वाला देता हूँ. तो इंडिविजुअल वाला में see content wise there is no challenge. The point is that you whenever you are making any presentation, make sure people remember it. Okay, at least some part of it. So this is a common feedback for each one of you, that you must have a presentation with you, and it should be as simple as possible. मैं अपना ही presentation दिखाता हूँ, so then you will get an idea what I'm talking about. Say, let me open this, and so can you see my presentation, the PPT wala?
Yes, unlock the creative genius in you.
Okay, like I'm changing the slide. Can you see the slide change?
See, definitely we can say, see.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I can see that.
Master your time, master your life.
Yeah, so see how I presented, right? This is the first screen. So I created a topic out of it. I said unlock the creative genius in you. Okay, so you can create a topic. Then I refer to the book. What you can do, you can also share that you have picked up this chapter from this book. Okay, and after that it was all plain simple presentation. It was just like this, that I picked up one thing which I can connect with you. Then I picked up everything, all these statements. Most of these statements are being picked up from that book one, chapter 6 of that book. Okay, and then everything from picked up from that book. And as I press this space bar button, I can read the same statement which is there, and I can connect it with my own voice modulation. You have the ability to solve almost any problem, overcome almost. Now, the whole thing was presented in one paragraph. So I took that paragraph and I picked up the points and I put it there. Okay. Then I picked up the 4 ways to unlock your creativity. And if you read the book, you will notice that they're all there in the book. I just picked up the info from that book, and most of the sentences are also exactly the same which I picked up from the book. थोड़ा बहुत शायद मैंने इधर उधर किया, जहां जहां पे मैंने यू वर्ड का इस्तेमाल किया, I just put Y as a capital. Okay, wherever I picked up some words which are interesting or important, I उसको मैंने highlight किया. जैसे यहाँ पे मैंने more को highlight किया. So you can do more of this, you can do less of this. Then what you need to start doing, so I highlight the word start, I highlighted word stop. I created this जहां जहां पे negative words हैं या जहां जहां पे ऐसे words हैं which I need to highlight strongly, I have highlighted it with red color. दूसरे को I highlighted it with blue color. Then power of our superconscious mind. Even this also picked up from the book only. हो सकता है मैंने उसको थोड़ा सा इधर उधर किया. I just did something that way, something this way. But see, it's all plain, simple. It's just a white background with black on it. These were the obstacles, setbacks, temporary failures. They were all there in normal text. I just highlighted them with only the first letter as a capital. I wrote this word must act. So when you read this entire slide, you notice that the ultimate is all about the action. Then activate your superconscious mind. How to do that? So I just picked this up from that book only. Then I created these examples so that I can connect it with you. Is how can I, something is also I picked up, but I put it in a way such that your focus is on how can I. And then I introduce this mindstorming thing, the 20 ideas method. And then I highlighted what is the 20 ideas method, what you need to do with that. And then I talked about magical powers of mindstorming. So what is mindstorming is all about, what you can get out of it. And this one I made in a different color. It's a blue and a combination of blue and red. Most of the other slides were all black. Then 5 steps to unlock your creative genius. Well, that was the original thing. That is what I promised, that this is what the presentation is all about. This session is all about. So naturally, I have to end with that as well. I talked about 5 steps to unlock the creative genius in you. And I mentioned that the keys to become one of the most creative person in your world. It was written in your world. I just replaced the world with domain. And that this was the last sentence in that paragraph. In that part of the it's not a paragraph, it's a section of that chapter. So I picked it up and put it at the top. And then I highlighted these things: visualize, verbalize, emotionalize, relax, and realize. Now, if you read chapter 6 of this book, you will find that the entire content I picked up from there. I made some modification here and there. I didn't pick the whole thing from that whole chapter. I only picked up certain things where my focus is all about how to unlock your creative genius. So since it is about you, you are paying more attention to yourself. Also, the way I presented it was also made some difference. And that's how I came to the end. So you can also do this. Now, I had an intention that I will prepare it for 20 minutes. So I prepared my slides accordingly. Now, had I been to present it only for 5 minutes, I would have just used the last slide. I don't even use the remaining slides. Only the last one.
So you were beautiful. Yeah, that was beautiful, awesome, short of words. But yeah, today it's definitely worth joining, and a lot of takeaways are there. Maybe next book we will present in more aligned and as more up to your expectations, sir.
More up to my expectation. As a name, just make sure that your intention is clear and the people are paying
But
attention to
one
the
question is still unanswered. if we are performing in a team, whether it will be sound good if matlab Mansi and Rajesh ji present in a mind map and I present in a presentation way.
Correct. The whole point is that you have to make sure that people are paying attention to your presentation, period.
So personally, coming from a branding and designing background, I feel that's not the right way of doing it. So हम क्या कर सकते हैं कि what we can do is we can prepare in advance. We can decide like how Pinaki presented everything in a PPT. So so that is also how people's attention gets divided. So
Hmm.
and how Shubhra ma'am, if you remember the creativity mind map presentation, she had completely given a presentation on mind map. So this time we were exploring mind map for the very first time. So we started exploring just 2 days before and all, but now we know how to do it. So basically next time if we plan to do it, we can definitely choose one and do it. Maybe ऐसे कर सकते किसी book के लिए we can try a mind map way, किसी book के लिए we can try a presentation way, and we can see na how we get which response is better for which this thing, and
Yes, like
accordingly we can plan.
absolutely. Like let me put it this way. This slide. See, had I been presenting this only for 5 minutes, I would have worked on only this slide. This is the only slide I would have worked on. Now, using these words, I can create a mind map. And with each mind map, I can also put this text along with it. If you notice carefully, even this slide itself working as a mind map. Because I highlighted
Yeah,
the
I feel
keywords.
that way it would have been more more recall value also for
Ha,
everyone.
ha. So you can create a mind map. You can create, even this is also mind map sort of. This is nothing less than a mind map. The only thing is it is not with that structure of a mind map. So this is the least you can do. The whole objective is, again, I am coming back to the same thing. I will घुमा फिरा के मैं बात वही करूंगा कि आपका intention should be the attention of your audience. If the audience is not paying attention to your intention, your purpose of that whole activity will not be fulfilled to T. आपका 100% इंटेंशन रहेगा, लोगों का 10% अटेंशन रहेगा, तो इवेंचुअली द आउटकम इज 10%. एंड इफ यू थिंक दैट दे कुड रिमेंबर दैट 10% आफ्टर 48 hours or 24 hours, it's gone. 80% वहां पे चला जाएगा. So they could only hardly remember 2% of it. It's like मानसी का प्रेजेंटेशन बहुत बढ़िया था, पिनाकी का प्रेजेंटेशन एक क्लास था. What उसने क्या किस चीज पे बात किया था, पिनाकी क्या बोला था, and that person can't even remember that. Whereas my
So what
intention.
so what I have like it's for me the takeaway is we invested a lot of time in discussing many things. Instead, if we can do it next time or whenever we do it again, we should do it in a way that we divide the work and we invest time in creation of all this and designing all this stuff together. Like जैसे पिनाकी ने बोला ना, like some of the slides are very well communicated through mind maps. Some of the slides could be better in a PPT format. So that way, how Rajesh was suggesting initially, that we can embed mind maps in some of the slides for some of the sections. But all of that, if we want to do it into that professional way, then we'll have to invest time and energy, and we need to have the pointers and everything ready very much before in hand, so that whoever is designing it gets to have that much time for designing purpose also, or working on the
Absolutely.
visual part also. So if we
Absolutely.
have everything well in advance ready, we can do it that way also, and it will be even more effective. And I feel that is more valuable, because then as Pinaki is just sharing with us, our intention will get more satisfied. Like in a better way, we'll get more attention, and anyways we are doing something, right? So it's even worth it if people remember it and recall it later. So better put the effort before, so that the end result is achieved, is what I have gained out of it.
Correct.
Wow, very nicely compiled, Mansi ji. But Pinaki ji, last question of the day. आपने मेरा ये बताया कि my eyes were continuously down, but whether बीच बीच में रुक रही थी, that was the thing I felt. Otherwise, मतलब what all I have to work on my communication skill.
See, communication skill में कोई challenge नहीं है. The only challenge is that you have to make sure that people are paying attention to you. Unless they pay attention to you, then whatever effort you are making is not going to go far. उसमें आपको वो result मिलने वाला नहीं है. So either you just speak out like this, is ये भी possible है. Like the way I'm talking right now, if I have my slide in front of me, I just read it. So it will look like that I'm looking at the audience. So that's what happens when I have a slide in front of me and I look at the slide and talk. So it looks like that I'm looking at the audience. Otherwise, क्या हो सकता है? When you open that slide and put it on the screen, that slide looks at the audience. So उसमें भी audience को एक message जाता है almost like that. Here, the speaker is looking at me because your eyes are on the slides. Your eyes are on the presentation. Ultimately, your eyes are on the screen and you are not looking anywhere else. So it appears that the speaker is speaking to me.
Okay.
Got that?
Yes, great suggestion. पिनाकी मेरे ही बारे में बताओ ना, like I guess हम तीनों Pallavi, you said Rajesh and me individually. मेरे बारे में what do you think? How was it? What should I improve?
Mansi, just a last question, if you permit.
Yeah. You finish with Pallavi and then you can talk about it.
Whether the content I took was okay. मतलब आप तो you said you were scrolling the book while we were presenting the book. So you can find out that my content was almost related with the book only. So whether the content part was, I tried to be very crisp.
Yeah, to put it very simply, बोलना कम है.
Okay.
What happens when you read from the book, just as if you were reading it out, people do not pay any attention to whatever you're reading.
So you haven't heard anything?
पूरा तो सुना नहीं. Honestly, if you take my honest feedback, I would say that मैंने ज़्यादा attention नहीं.
For any five of us, or only for me?
थोड़ा सा attention सकीना के पास गया था क्योंकि उसका presentation बहुत थोड़ा था. And Rajesh was articulating, तो राजेश का मैं articulation वाला क्वेश्चन सुन रहा था, not the content, honestly speaking. अंजलि का content clear था, इसलिए I could identify certain things. That's what I could say, that this statement was there in the book and I read this book for at least 2 to 3 times, but I overlooked that. मतलब वो statement मेरे नजर में ही नहीं आया. That attention and intention वाला statement. What attention is, what intention is. So, and what she did something very smart. अंजलि ने क्या बोला कि पिनाकी ने जो presentation दिया, whatever I am going to share is aligned with that. That is how she started her session. तो उससे क्या हुआ, मेरे attention और चला गया कि अरे यार. So she attended my session. She was paying attention to my session. So definitely she must have connected to it. And और मेरा तो original intention यही था कि I should use certain words in my presentation such that आपका जो भी presentation आप उसके साथ connect कर पाओ. तो मुझे लगा कि अच्छा इसमें ध्यान दे के मेरा presentation सुना था. So I should pay attention to her, that how she connected it with my presentation. So eventually when she finished it, I also pointed that out. I actually verbally pointed that out. Yes, and I pointed out 2 points. Whatever you shared, these 2 things are connected to the presentation which I did.
Yes. In fact, I am so, this is also a big takeaway for me from this interaction, that you have been so thoughtful. कि अभी what is going to be after this? So what is the audience expecting in this particular meeting today? And then you have curated your presentation or whatever you are delivering to the audience as well as to everybody to connect. So that is a big learning for me. So I would really look forward to it whenever we do something anywhere. Like, thank you. Or I personally do something anywhere.
All right then.
Yes, thank you.
I'll share this recording. Okay, once it is ready, I'll put it on YouTube and I'll share the link.
Yeah, sure. Also, others, अच्छा ठीक है. I'll just drop a message. We'll connect once for the internal learning takeaways and improvement this thing. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.